The round of 16 is over for the NASCAR Cup Series 2023 playoffs. Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. are the drivers eliminated. We'll talk about it next on NASCAR America Motormouths. Hi, everyone. Welcome to NASCAR America Motormouths, presented by Toyota. Marty Snider, Coon, Dale Jarrett joining you here. So, Kim, let's talk about the four drivers eliminated. Started with maybe the most shocking one, Joey Logano. I mean, how big of a surprise was that the regular seat or the champion from last year was eliminated in the first round for the first time ever?
You know, I think that might be surprising to fans just because he was the defending champion. But if you're in the garage each and every weekend, I don't know that it was as big as a surprise as it was for the fans. And that's just because, you know, we get this insight from the teams. We're talking to crew chiefs. And I really got the sense every week I had to talk to Paul Wolf that there was some head scratching going on in the 22 camp. They just haven't had the outright speed all season long. They had one win in the regular season to get them into the playoffs. And you look at what that race that was Atlanta. And that is a little bit of a wild card race. And so, you know, I think that I'm not surprised about it. I don't know that everybody can agree, but they just haven't had the speed all year long. And you look at Bristol and what happened to him and you say, oh, you know, it was a little bit of bad luck, but I don't chalk it up to bad luck. He got caught up in an incident, but you have to think about where he was running and why he was running in that position. I think he was running in, I think, the 27th position at that point when that LaJoie incident happened. Why are we seeing Joey Logano at Bristol running back in the back half of the field? And so for me, that's the biggest red flag. But you know, if you believe in voodoo or bad luck, it's 2023. They have proven that their years are always the even years. So even though they're knocked out, I look at 2024 as a year that they're going to spend the next 7 races figuring out what they need to do to come back and be champions in 2024. So don't count them out for next year, even though they're out of the running this year.
So, DJ, let's talk about Kevin Harvick. And obviously, you know, every driver who's retiring like Kevin Harvick is at the end of the year wants to go out like Jeff Gordon did. And, you know, you want to be a part of the championship for. I don't know that they had the speed to do that all year long. But what will the next 7 weeks be like for the 14?
I think now it's going to be more about the retirement of Kevin Harvick, that giving their best effort. You know, not that they don't always try as hard as they possibly can, but there's going to be a lot more of looking back of how successful Kevin Harvick has been through the years. And, you know, while he was still a part of the playoffs, that's what we wanted to talk about. You know, does he have that opportunity, continue to move on, trying to win that second championship? We know now that's not going to happen. You know, you look back at this, it's been a tough year for Kevin Harvick, for everyone at Stewart-Haas Racing. They just have not brought the fastest car to the track very many times. Their one opportunity was Darlington because Kevin Harvick is so good there. And, you know, a bad break, if you will, and timing there took away his opportunity. And it was kind of like that deflated them to a point that they weren't able to recover. Even though they went in above the cut line, they just struggled and did not have the speed to contend. So, you know, let's take the next 7 weeks and let's celebrate Kevin Harvick and the accomplishments and all that he has brought to the sport of NASCAR racing, and especially the Cup Series.
So, Kim, Michael McDowell does not advance, but I was so impressed by their fight on Saturday night at Bristol. So is the future ever look brighter for Michael McDowell in the 34 team than it does right now?
Absolutely not. And I looked at that pairing of Michael McDowell with crew chief Travis Peterson as kind of the big reason that they were able to do what they were able to do this season. You know, before we maybe looked at McDowell as, oh, he can win at the super speedways, he can contend and win at the road courses, but there were so many other races this season where we really looked to that 34 team as a true contender for the win. And a lot of those were oval tracks as well. I would argue and say that this was one of the best oval performances this Bristol race that we had ever seen from Michael McDowell. And you think of, you know, Travis Peterson coming from the 17 car. They were the winners last year. And I just think Travis is injecting some knowledge into that team that is really working in their favor. He got a best Bristol finish of 6th. And to your point, Marty, you know, they went into that race minus 40 points. They knew they were, in their minds, in a must-win situation. And although they didn't win, they put themselves in position to be within striking distance all race long. He finished 6th, but was running in the top 5 all day long. So I don't look at, you know, this into their playoff run as an into their season. I still expect speed and good things out of the next 7 races from them. And I think the future is so bright for Mike McDowell and this team.
DJ, you would know better than anyone. Anytime you win the Daytona 500, that kind of makes a year, doesn't it? What impressed you most, even though he got eliminated in the first round, about Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s year?
I think the biggest thing that I take away is this single car team showed that there's a lot more to them than just racing at Daytona and Talladega and a select few other places that we know that Ricky's been good at as a driver. He showed that again on Saturday night at Bristol. Another good performance. But basically, this was a career year for this race team. I'm not going to say career year for Ricky, even though I think his stats will show that winning the Daytona 500 and the other good things that they were able to do, just like Kim was talking about with Michael McDowell. This team did many of the same things. It wasn't just about one race that they did things. We talked about Ricky Stenhouse and this team quite a bit, and I think this is a huge building block for them as they move forward to try to be an even better team, to be more consistent and have more opportunities to win at other racetracks. But a year that you win the Daytona 500, everything's going to be great after that anyway.
Mm-hmm.